Hello, good morning. Back to normal again, I suppose you could say. No, no more Kitschy Kim. Sorry about that, guys. This morning I couldn't help myself. But back on to probably a more poignant point of view, and that is my opinion, my own opinion. And many of you may disagree with it, but I've noticed that there are a lot of Americans. Sorry, guys. You know how I love you guys. Happy 4th of July, and also Merry Christmas to those that are about to celebrate it, both here and also back in America. I hope you have a wonderful, merry Christmas with Santa. In England, we call him Father Christmas, but in America, it's called Santa. Now, something that I have noticed a lot about, not only the channels are moving, but also the people that run them. A lot of Americans seem to flit over to Thailand or Cambodia or Vietnam. I wonder why. My suggestion would be that, first of all, they can afford to. No, I'm not jealous of their hundreds of thousands of pesos a month from numerous forms of income. But I'm just thinking that, of course, when you have money to spare, money growing on trees, there's a tendency to bail ship and go to where you might think the grass is always greener. But of course, you and I know it isn't. But, they're entitled to their situation. But if you look at the local GMA news, the ABN news, or what do they call themselves here, the newspapers even, you'll discover there's a lot of doom and gloom here in the Philippines in terms of the political situation. When I say the political, probably more the disappearing money situation. Now, we all know that there's disappearing money. You only have to look at, where is it? Philadelphia? No, it's not Philadelphia. Anyway, where the people from Sudan seem to be living. And it happens everywhere in the world. It's pork pie, pork barreling, stealing, fraud, whatever you call it. It's all around. But here in the Philippines, clearly the infrastructure is suffering. It's suffering because of a handful, maybe more than a handful, maybe many handfuls, have got handfuls of money. Sure, we all know a few people will be made scapegoats, and those that are in power and those that did take part will, no doubt, squirrel that money away. But we as foreigners can't help but recognize that Philippines has got many issues, things that we'll never be able to be a part of fixing. We can only hope that time in itself creates a little bit more stability, politically, monetarily, and in terms of infrastructure. We still have days where the internet drops out and you have to reload it a few seconds later. I did a live the other day, a good example. But the point is that it's still working. Might not work quite how we would expect it in Australia or America, but nevertheless it does work. Just like the power works when it's not been tinkered with, or a truck has hit a transformer pole and left their neighborhood in darkness for a little while. These things happen. It's just part of living here in the Philippines. It's no good complaining about everything. And of course, a lot, not all, but a lot of Americans, along with Australians and Pommies as well, do tend to complain a bit too much when they're sitting around that cold beer with their mates at the local do-drop-in place. Of course, that's part and parcel of mixing with foreigners. But clearly there are a great number that are choosing maybe not to make the Philippines their destination in the end. Many have decided after a number of years here, enough is enough. And I can understand that frustration because it does take a certain type of person to assimilate, to become accustomed to everything that's around you. No matter where we live, whether we go to Minnesota, that's the place I was trying to think of. If we live in Minnesota, we have to adjust to what is Minnesota. If we choose to go somewhere else, we have to adjust to that place too. Sorry about the drums in the background. It's not just the natives, it's just people from afar. And are you looking for... Just call. Just call out to her. You have some visitors, Mum. Some people arrived into the house. I'm not sure why, but maybe they're looking to take some cuttings off something. But back to what I'm thinking about, and that is that it does take a certain type of situation. Some of us can adjust to that way. Some of us find it almost impossible to go a day without complaining about something that is really niggling them. And they will always find that building up one on top of another. And by doing that, eventually they'll say enough is enough and they'll go. For myself, I've been here struggling on occasion 11 years. And I don't find the Philippines any different than anywhere else, except the only thing is, it's not England, it's not Australia or New Zealand. But in its own way, it's a little piece of everywhere. What I mean by that is, whatever we do in ourselves, we should be able to eventually adjust to what is really everyday life here. You know, we all get up at the same time, maybe different hours, but we all get up the same. We all have a shower the same. Some of us use the old bucket and scoop, but eventually we succumb to maybe an electric heater on the wall. Very cheap, a couple of thousand, maybe $3, and a very simple connection, and voila, you have hot showers at last. And of course, the Filipino will say, oh, I don't need that. I'm used to cold. Put a hot shower in and they're more than happy to leave it on. You turn it off and turn it off at the circuit breaker and watch them complain that, oh, the water's cold again. Really? Things happen. Things change. And we, of course, bring a lot of those changes to our household. And, of course, they're going to embrace many of those things. Many don't have a computer. We bring one in. They try and use your computer, but eventually maybe you buy them one so they can tinker around on a computer. And the children in the house will do an online course or maybe even run speaking English, because they can speak Filipino English to their foreign friends in China or Korea, and they make a few pesos, maybe 60 pesos an hour. Pathetic, really, but they're more than happy to have that little injection of cash into their home. It gives them a feeling of achievement and we should be applauding all of that effort, because that's what we really should be spending our time when we're not, what would you say, worshipping a glass full of beer or a bottle of beer. We should be thinking about what we can add in their mind to help them focus on life doesn't owe you a living. You have to do it yourself. We have the ability to payroll them. We have the ability to set them up in these businesses. Don't waste your time setting up a sari store or a piggery and things like that. They'll do that on their own. There's not a lot of money to be made in a piggery. Piggeries only succeed because they're run by Filipina. They have members of their family that run a stall in the market every day of the week, and they make a small income from it. But they also have an ability then to sell the product that they're producing. That's little pigs or bigger pigs. And as a general rule, it will help the family get a regular income. But of course, you only have to have a swine flu epidemic or an outbreak, and suddenly all of the stock has disappeared, and they've got to disinfect the whole area, and it's a number of months before they can get back on their feet again. Again, do they have the money to get started again, to buy another sow and hope that the little piglets come flowing from her? But also remember that when you set up a business, it may well be a perfect business plan, but business plans don't always come to fruition here in the Philippines, because when somebody at number 10 does something outstanding, everybody wants to do the same. So you have number 10 outstanding for a while. Everybody wants to buy the ice cream or go in there and buy a product that they're selling, only to find that another 6 have opened up within 100 meters of them. And of course, competition, they say, is a good thing. But when you're only making a few pesos per sale, competition can kill a good business. My little friend, the dog, has decided that he will tell somebody that he's the boss. But guys, you know, it's all about adapting. It's all about understanding life here in the Philippines. It does move at a very, very slow pace. Salaries are very low. Profits are very low. That doesn't mean that when you come here with a $500,000 American dollars or Australian dollars that you can't look at the possibility of maybe buying a franchise and maybe having a Jollibee or a McDonald's burger bar. But remember, they're about 50 million peso investment, which is quite a bit of money. But remember, it could employ members of your family, the ones that have to get up and go. And as an ongoing project, it would obviously benefit the whole family. Would you want to do that in retirement? Would you want to put all your money in that for the benefit of another? Some of you will, and some of you no doubt would seriously consider that. We're not talking about a little buy one, get one free burger bar. We're talking about big name franchises. Ones that, as they always say, food always sells. And franchises, of course, also go out of fashion. But Jollibee, I think, touching wood, should be a pretty good investment. 7-Eleven, again, too much in the way of staff, and the organization creams too much money out of your bottom line. So I think when you come to the Philippines, forget about investment. Invest in your family. Invest in the sense that show them how to get ahead. Encourage them to do courses that will help them get a better position in the workforce. Some of them maybe haven't finished school. Support them going through and finishing maybe college, because it will open up more and more to them. Don't moan about the Philippines. Get up off your ass and help those around you. Support them financially, not a large amount, but just to show them that they do matter and that you have faith in their future and their own ability. There's some very smart Filipinos out there. We should be encouraging them, not putting them down. So guys, don't worry about the Americans leaving. They'll leave all the time. Of course, another lot will be arriving soon, because remember, the most recent news items is that Subic Bay is now coming alive and going to be a center for the American mighty war machine, as is the Philippines going to be a place to make missiles and bombs. What a wonderful world we live in. Keep buying Chinese, keep buying American. We all have to live. Chinese is junk. Americans tell us their stuff is better. Remember, German stuff used to be better too. But every time something happens, politicians always stuff it up. And hence the quality goes down. You have a lovely day. Bye now.